Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this free video we're going to do something a little bit different. It's related to a futures trade that we have open right now in the 30-year bond, but one of the things that we've been doing throughout the last year as the long bond short yield play, and by the way, that's still a valid trade. Actually, let's start off with a quick look at that ZB contract. So long bond short yield is still something that I am looking at. Pullbacks now from oversold levels. One of the things that Charles Dow talked about many moons ago was that when a market transitions into distribution, you want to respect the trend that was. In other words, a trend isn't broken until it's really broken. Now, that wasn't a lot of help there, Mr. Dow, but what we can take from that is respect the trend that was. In other words, as a market turns from a trend into chop, we will focus on oversold buys, and that's exactly what keeps us long the ZB. Now, as long as I am in that long bond position, there are certain ETFs and stocks that work really well with that. And one of the ETFs that we've been buying pullbacks in just re-entered the wave to the downside, and that is XHB. Now you'll notice that even when XHB transitioned to a little bit of chop, respecting the trend that was, we want to continue to look for opportunities to buy. So today's move takes us to the top line of the wave. Now the last time we bounced from this level, we bounced from the top line of the wave. So this is valid, but not all that long ago, we were able to get a little bit deeper inside the wave, which means that if you buy the 34 EMA high, be aware of the 34 EMA close, maybe even the 34 EMA low. But whatever you do, you're not really looking for a short. Now, the other thing that I like to do, and this is something that we build in both TradeStation and in Thinkorswim, and that is just the multi-chart. We put the larger sector or index futures in the upper left-hand corner, and then in order of weight, all the different stocks that are weighted within that, in this case, the ETF. And so what we also want to know is, are there other stocks within this ETF that are pulling back? And do any of them have better structure than XHB? And the ones that come to mind in terms of pulling back and with good structure are MAS, you'll see right down here, and MHK. Now, when you take this kind of approach to your futures trading, you're opening up the S&P, looking for stocks within the S&P or sectors within the S&P that are outperforming. Now, a little bit closer look at MHK, and you realize that this is a powerful level we've sold down to. There's a gap support level at play here. There's a 200 period exponential, and then the wave itself. So just be aware that if we slip through support, there's a pretty good chance we could slip down to 130. That's a little gap vacuum we could see there. So be aware of that and don't give this thing a lot of latitude below the bottom line of the wave. But this pullback is a pretty darn decent one in MHK. The other one is MAS. All right, now we're pulling back a little bit. I'd like to see this get down to about 45.20 or the 21 period exponential, but 45.20 and the 34 EMA on the high is really going to be my preference for MAS. And then finally taking a look at XHB, buy, and even this area here would be a buy. So why again are we looking at the XHB? Because as we continue to play the long bond, short yield, the long positions that we have in the 30-year, there are certain ETFs that tend to do better, tend to be more bullish in this environment. And that's how you use futures contracts to really, I think, get a tremendous edge in different sectors and in stocks. I'll see you in the next update.